Okay, I thought I would do a follow-up on my refinishing job on my sculling oars, and I have finally got to the point where I'm ready to varnish them, and it was quite a chore getting there. In a previous video I showed how I had messed up last season when I recoated them with varnish. I did not thin the varnish out properly, and so I had really heavy egg peeling and actual waves in the varnish, and just got in a hurry and went ahead and went with it. And the oars were well protected, but it really was a sloppy job, so I had to sand all that off, and it was worth it. Just did everything by hand. I didn't really trust myself with power tools, and I didn't want to use any sort of chemical finish remover. These are what I'm working on here are the Douglas feath-or, and you cannot get these anymore. They don't make them anymore. Everybody's switching to the composite oars, but these are a hollow shaft, so they're laminated hollow shaft, spruce shaft, and then they've got the mahogany blades. I really like them. They're lightweight, strong. They have just a slight amount of give to them. I like the feel of them, and unfortunately you cannot get them any longer, so I wanted to be careful. I was afraid if I used chemical finish remover, that I might affect the glue joints. And then as far as using power sanding, I didn't really want to risk damaging them in any way, so I just sanded them down by hand. I used dry sanding at first. Probably should have just wet sanded the whole way, but I just did a medium sand, and then a fine sand dry. Then I shifted to the waterproof wet sanding. I really like this sandpaper, Gator. I started out with 400, and then I finished with 600 grit, and very impressed with this sandpaper. Lasts forever for wet sanding purposes. I hardly used any, but yeah, that's what I did to finish it off. I ended up with I'm really happy, nice and smooth. I even got down to the bare wood in some places, which is fine. I wanted to, I've had these oars for many years, and so I had quite a few layers of varnish over the years. It wasn't until last year that I muffed up the varnish, but it had added up over the years, had quite a few layers. So I'm glad I sanded down, got through most of the layers, and in fact, like I said, a few areas I'm all the way down to the bare wood. So yeah, next goal, once they dry out real well, is I was going to remove the collars, but they're on there too well. I didn't want to cut them off. You can't get these collars anymore. They're no longer available. You can get other collars that might work with these oars, but I decided just to leave the collars on. They're a little bit weathered and showing the lots of miles of use, but I think I've got a little more use out of those. Someday I'll probably have to cut them off and put new collars on there, or sleeves. And obviously I've taken the collars off, so that's I do have new grips coming from Adirondack Rowing out in New York. from Pete and Karen Gallo out there. Great people. So you guys need anything to do with rowing, they've probably got it. Again, it's Adirondack Rowing out of New York. Pete and Karen Gallo. So we shall be careful this time and get the varnish thinned out properly and do probably a couple coats. Sand in between the coats with the 600. See how that looks after 2 coats. Could always go a third if I want to, and we'll see how that turns out. I think they're going to be gorgeous. Should get a lot more use out of them. We've already been through a lot together, me and these oars. Some of the stuff we've been through, should write a book someday maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll follow up with a video when they're all set to go. Okay, have a good day.